So just bare your soul, and if we have to restart it,
Yeah, we'll restart.
just do it again.
Say it.
Your guys' first episode, don't you start having started like 8 times?
That's every episode.
Yeah.
It's
That's
very
mainly...
funny tuning into a podcast and hearing that you guys have been talking for a while and are
Yep.
done.
Yeah. All right, looks to be stable. I'll keep an eye on it, and we may have to start over. And like, it usually happens in like 3 minutes or something. So,
Okay.
whatever. Okay, I'm gonna start. Now we're recording.
Whoa.
What's
Okay.
up?
Hey, welcome to Blunder Bus,
Yeah.
the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Podcast about mistakes and regrets and oopsies
Yeah.
and boo-boos.
Boo-boos. That's a new one.
Yeah.
That's a new one. I like that.
I'm a co-host, Vic Tran,
What's up?
here with my other co-host.
Art Kai. Hello.
Yeah.
And this is exciting. We have our first ever guest. You've seen her on Tucker Carlson, guys. Get over for Meredith Dietz.
It's
Literally on top of Tucker Carlson. That's where she was.
girl on top, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
I'm the green M&M that he hates.
Weren't you just saying you were a top? You're a top. No, you're saying you're top and bottom.
We were saying if you had to cut yourself in half, would you do it hot dog or hamburger style?
Yeah.
And I said I would want to have tops and bottoms rather than revealing how asymmetrical my face is.
Oh, yeah. I
With
go
that-
straight down
I
the
was
middle.
not saying I was
Yeah.
a top. Why would you lead with that?
I don't know.
never
Top
would
and
say
a
that.
bottom.
Yeah,
I'm
you
so
never s-
fucking.
okay, I'm sorry.
so fucking tired. I keep stepping up as a top, and I keep getting approached as a top.
Yeah.
But listen, what if somebody treated me right?
That was more upsetting than the
I-
Tucker Carlson thing?
Well, that
To be miss
to be mistaken
top
for mommy
miss,
energy.
misversed.
I
Is that
would
what
rather be a sub on Tucker Carlson than Dom the Libs.
Wait, is that a real thing to be approached as a top? Like, hey, are you a top? Is that a thing?
No, that's such a bold thing for a sub
That's
to
what
say.
What about like...
I think people get approached. Are you a bottom? Because that's a top way to go through the world.
Wow.
Also, we're using terms that are not our own right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Definitely never
This
use
is a
those
world
terms.
I'm very
Well, I was
unacquainted
hoping
with.
you'd educate us on top and bottom
Inside to sides.
culture side. Yeah, what's up with that?
I'm a virgin.
What about it? Should be northwest, east, west, east, south.
Nor it should be never eat soggy waffles
Yes,
in the bedroom.
yes. No more this top bottom binary. It used to be 4 different cardinal directions. You know.
Okay,
I
this
agree
is
with
becoming
that.
the Tucker Carlson podcast.
Anyway, welcome to Blunder Bus, everybody. We'll get into the good stuff, right? See, this is the
Well, you have to give
good.
Meredith like a real intro.
Okay, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
All right, she's a good friend of mine, good friend of ours. We run a
Good
show
friend of
together.
ours. Let's-
yeah,
Let's
well,
get different. Well, I did think that
I fucked this up already.
Let's be
Second time.
real.
it's crazy. My biggest regret it started about 2 minutes ago when we hit record.
right.
Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot over the course of this podcast.
We'll restart it.
Well, I do think this is fun topics for Art I know very well and have
Yeah.
lived many regrets with. But Vic, we don't know each other that well. So
Yeah.
we'll be able to ask each other better questions.
Ooh.
And Art will be
Ooh.
the glue. Can he rise to the challenge?
Right, I think I can. I feel like I'm
Okay.
pretty
All
good,
right. Well, I'll think of some questions.
pretty good moderator.
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes
yeah.
to that. Okay,
Uh-huh.
proper introduction.
First question: are you a top or a bottom?
First. Do it both. Okay, Meredith Dietz, good friend, comedian, funny, has written for The Onion, runs Jerry Seinfeld Presents. I hear it's a pretty good show. Never been to it. I won't know. What else? Anything else you wanna? Anything else?
Friend of Art Kai. That's usually
Friend, yeah.
that's how I get brought up on most shows.
For
Ooh,
this
I
guy's
like
friend.
that.
I'm Art Kai's friend.
That would be insane. That'd be kind of cool though.
It's a bit of a
She's open for
blunder.
Matt Rife.
I wish. It was so funny watching. Did you guys watch Matt Rife at all?
I want like just his overall career or his special.
So, yeah.
Are you
I've been
watching
following.
his trajectory? No, the special at all.
I saw clips. I saw the end.
Oh, and I saw the beginning.
Oh.
We
Oh.
gotta.
You guys should talk.
Yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta fill in the gaps.
yeah. Wait,
What
why'd you watch
happens?
just the end?
It came up on my Twitter feed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, they're putting the last joke on.
Well, that's the
someone
thing.
else
It
did.
wasn't really a joke. He does like a mic. He has like a
A
sincere.
genuine mic drop.
Yeah, he does a sincere like.
No fucking way.
Everybody said I couldn't do it, and look at me now performing in my favorite theater in America. You know,
Wait, are you serious?
shut the fuck up, and he drops
Well-
the mic and walks
Wow.
off.
It's
yeah.
if I actually did see the same clip, and it's about how people accused of being a crowd work comedian. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Whoa.
you don't have any jokes," and then he's like, "Look what I just did," and hour of jokes.
Wait, I love how he's treating this as like a Me Too apology. Like I have to put out a special
to prove the haters
I
wrong.
gotta explain.
Wow.
I gotta
Imagine a
explain
Me Too
myself.
apology with a mic drop.
That'd
be something else.
I saw a
something else.
review about something about how all he is
That's
doing
so
is
funny.
like moving air around and like creating space for jokes, but there aren't actually jokes there. And I
Oh, interesting.
loved that phrasing. So I was
Oh,
like, that's
wow.
exactly what it is. He is speaking in the cadence of stand up,
Yeah.
but he's just saying the most hack basic shit. And he does
Yeah.
things that I think a lot of people do at mics, which is they like script in the like, uh-oh, are you guys going to be a fun crowd?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you guys are pulling back. I hate when people say, oh, you guys are pulling back. And it's like, no, they weren't.
Yeah, they were
Everyone was
chilling.
on board and they were fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Or acting like they were just groans or
Right.
like oohs when really everyone was just like, ha.
Yeah.
And that was what a
Interesting.
lot of the special was.
Like he's like trying to engineer an environment that doesn't actually exist.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
he's reacting to something that didn't actually happen.
Right.
And acting like everything he's saying is inherently edgy when it's not.
Yeah.
It's so. I liked it because I
Wow.
watched it with our friend Julia Zen,
Zen,
who is from
friend of the pod.
Maryland.
Oh.
Okay.
And
Is he from Maryland?
he, wherever he's performing, I think he's in Maryland or Baltimore or
Oh, wow.
somewhere. But either way,
Yeah.
there's immediately Maryland slander, and she's freaking out. She's like, opening up with Maryland slander. What the fuck?
Wow.
And then she was weirdly silent when he transitioned directly into a domestic abuse joke.
And that she loved it.
She was fine. She was freaking out,
like,
and
oh,
then
wow,
that like
interesting.
calmed her down.
Yes. Yeah.
The beating women joke was like her cocoa melon.
All right, back to the craft. Here we go. Here we
Back
go.
to
Oh wow,
Yeah.
let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
The
No,
shit's
that's
good.
what women are supposed to do.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, oh.
Let's go. Okay. Well, that's fun. Matt Rife, not really Blunder in my life, but should we get into our blunders? You have a little small thing, Victor Tran?
Yeah, I was telling the story to a friend of mine the other day. It's about another comic that I met. A big fan of his. We're not friends at all, but I am a big fan of his. It was Joe List. I met Joe List one time.
Yeah.
He was at the Vermont Comedy Festival last year.
Oh, cool.
And how should I tell this? I'll just tell it chronologically. So Joe List, that is the best way to tell stories.
Sure,
on the spot,
yeah.
I think.
Citizen Kane, start from the end.
Yeah. So he headlines the Vermont Comedy Festival, and after the entire festival, there's like an after party for all the comics. And he's hanging around, doesn't really know anybody. And one of the comics approaches him, and she's kind of drunk, and she's talking his ear off, and she's like being very complimentary. She's like, "I love your set. Like the way that your mind works is like it like." It's amazing to me. I love this bit and the way that you turned it into this, which is nice. She was very nice.
Yeah.
She was very nice. But I don't think she was picking up the social cue that
Yeah.
like, Joe
trying
seemed
to-
very anxious.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He seemed very anxious, and he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, cool." I think he's just like an anxious person
Yeah.
by nature, And then but she was still very excited and like kept kind of pushing it, and I could see him trying to like slide out of the conversation. So I was standing there listening to the conversation, and I thought I'd pitch in and maybe break the accumulating tension.
Oh God.
So the whole time she's like, "I love this," and like, "I think you're so great," and like, "The new hour's amazing." And I said, "Oh, really? I thought it fucking sucked."
I mean, hilarious.
And I thought that, like,
He'd be like, haha, that's funny. Yeah.
I thought he would see that it's such an absurd thing to say at that moment that he
Yeah.
would find it funny.
Yeah.
But he was just like, "Oh," what he said, "Why would you say that?"
Wow.
And then
No way.
And
Wow.
Also, because
then,
I feel like normally we can rely on comics
Yeah.
to pick
Yeah.
up on when we're fucking with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you don't know them, it's a little trickier to convey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you don't have that like rapport.
Yeah, I think
know?
that too. I also think
Put a
like,
hard T on that word.
Rapport. Yeah, I'm about the
Reports.
hard T's and the R words.
Yeah.
I was
Also,
about to- I was about
maybe
to say it, but I
maybe
was like,
I
nah.
know, and I love watching art develop a filter in real time. This is a 30-year-old man reading
Well,
by
yeah,
word.
no.
Yeah.
Which word were you thinking about? Anyway, wow. So he said that, and then were you like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it." Like, how'd you respond?
I just laughed at my own joke, but he kind of slunk away.
But I also feel like you were doing the thing of the like punching up. Like it'd be
Yeah.
weird if he said that to you and you're like, "Do you even know who I am?"
Right.
Oh,
But
yeah.
when it's like, "Oh, you're
Well,
a comic I kind of look up." to."
Looking back at it, Well, first off, maybe he was doing the same thing. Maybe I
Sure.
didn't pick up on him.
Yeah,
Whatever.
maybe
But
you're a
also,
fucking idiot.
I was
Oh,
there
maybe.
also as the photographer.
Oh.
And so I don't even think it registered to him that I was a comedian.
Oh shit! Do you have a camera like on your neck?
I was literally shooting the
Yeah.
after party.
Yeah.
And then after you shot yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. But he is one of my favorite comics.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
that night, not that night.
Oh,
Yeah, that
damn.
night you're like, fuck that
Nah,
guy.
he
He's
was
a
great. He was
loser.
great. Yeah,
I feel like I've done plenty of things like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So much that I couldn't even factor that in as a blunder. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's just part of my script.
That's just
now.
life.
Yeah.
It just happens.
I'm trying to adopt that more. I'm trying
Yeah.
to go into social situations just knowing like I'm gonna hit some bumps tonight.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
We're human. Everyone does that. That's sort of the whole like ethos of the pod. It's like, these are all everyone does these things.
Mhm. I thought the
Uh,
ethos of the pod was to pump out content for the algorithm.
That's maybe. No, yeah, I think that's very normal. Like Chris Gethard, do you guys know him? You guys
Yeah.
know him?
Uh-huh.
He's doing a show at the Annoyance Theater, or he wasn't doing a show, but Justin Linville, do you guys know him?
I
You guys
do.
know him?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, he was doing like Justin Linville was gonna do Chris Gethard's like one-man show, like jokingly as Chris Gethard, and I was working the door at the theater. And Chris Gethard came in like before everybody, and he was like, "Hey, I'm here for the show." And I was like, "Oh, are you Justin Linville?" And he went, "Ha ha ha, very funny." And I was like, "Sorry, I was just kidding."
That's
Ah,
good.
Very
That's
funny.
good.
And
That's
I'm like,
funny.
damn.
Uh,
I thought you may have liked that, but I guess not.
I liked
Damn.
it.
So yeah, similar story of like we're just joking around, being kind of mean, and then
What'd you
they
say
didn't
after
like
that?
it.
Whoa, you pulled back on that one.
yeah.
Or
You
even,
audience, yeah.
even if they get it, I think there's the thing of like people being sensitive to if you're trying to like ingratiate your like suck
Right.
up, you know? Like I
Right.
feel like
Just
there's
joking,
been
yeah.
a comic who's much better than me who crushed, and then I'm like, you'll get him next time.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
right.
is like
I
the
love that.
highest praise you can
Yeah.
get. It's
Right.
when everyone's like, great set, great set. And then your one friend goes like, you'll get him next time. It happens to everybody. That's the best.
Yeah.
But like saying that to someone, I feel like are very sensitive to. If you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like saying that
Too
when
familiar.
people bomb. I like, hey,
Oh,
better
so
luck
next
next
time?
time.
Sincerely.
Yeah, be real. Like,
I
you
like
would-
that.
Do you actually say that to people when they bomb?
Oh yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
The
You'll get
most
them next time.
The most, I mean, that's better. It's so
Yeah.
annoying when people are like, here are all the reasons why you didn't or
Right.
did bomb because the audience was tight because of that. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I much prefer when someone's just like, it happened.
Yeah.
It happens to all of us.
What's that like? Because I feel like some comics do actually like it. Like, here are the issues.
Oh, they do. And
You know what I mean?
I think less of them.
Wow.
Yeah, because
okay.
like you should
Okay,
know. Like if you're any
Right.
good, you would know why things didn't work. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to gauge that sometimes. Just like, what is my gauge? Like, where's the audience? Where am I? That's why
And
it's
I'm also
tricky.
I'm being hypocritical because sometimes it's amazing when someone's like, "No, dude, you have no clue. This happened in the crowd and you didn't hear it, and it distracted everybody."
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
sometimes I'm like, "Thank you for saying it's not my fault."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other times I'd prefer you didn't pity me and just say like, "Dude, I bombed the other night. I wanted to kill myself," and I'm like, "Thank you. That's how it feels."
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I'm fine.
Has this ever happened?
be
Have you
real.
ever done a
Just be
set
real.
and thought it went well, and you get off, and then somebody's like, "Yeah, I don't know what's up with this crowd."
Me?
Yes,
You've done that?
I've
To
done that
me.
to you.
multiple times.
Have I?
I will go
Oh,
a row.
so my God.
Oh my god! I had such a fine set one time, and I go and
Such
everyone's
a
like,
fine
"Great
set."
set, great set, great set," and Art
Yeah.
goes, "I don't know why they were so tense for you." I was like, "I didn't know that they were tense for me."
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a good friend, and everyone's lying to you.
I genuinely do believe that. And also,
Okay.
I was talking about this with
I was just kidding. It was a joke.
I was talking about this with Shosh today because yesterday I feel like I did have a good set, but I didn't feel amazing about it. And I was like, "Ugh, I just don't want to ever follow Dorian, our good
Yeah.
friend, who is very, very funny. And
Yeah.
it just
Yeah,
sucks
yeah.
to follow someone who's
The
such
boast.
a killer.
Yeah.
And I think I was talking about like it's helpful when Shosh is like, you did great. It's just hard to follow that person. But it's
Sure.
not like you bombed or were even mid or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, Art is my go-to guy who has seen me perform so much,
Yeah.
has seen my comedy trajectory more than any other person because
Wow.
we started Jerry together.
I'm like a papa.
You're like my father.
like a papa.
But you're definitely someone like the other night when you were like, how did you feel about your set? Like, I don't think you were very present. I was like,
Yeah.
you pinpointed that is what it was. I was nervous and I was
Okay.
not silly Meredith.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yesterday, yeah, you felt weird about your set, but I was like, no, you did great. I thought it was really good.
And
you know
it
what I mean?
means something from you because I know that you would
shit.
say,
Thank God.
"Oh yeah, you were a little bit tense if I
Yeah.
was," which I need. I don't need people to
you need
sugarcoat it.
You gotta get
Yeah.
good credit.
But some of our friends really need to be
Yeah.
sugarcoated.
That's why it's
Yeah.
hard. It's really hard to know. And I try. I get in my head a lot about it, being like, what should I say? I don't know.
I said good set to someone recently, and they went liar. And I was like, what?
God.
Okay.
Well, that's also shitty too. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're just being courteous.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that was a huge resolution this year that I think I improved on, was like, if I bomb, don't make it anyone else's problem.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect, but
Right.
I've gotten better at that.
Sure.
I've been bad at that. I smashed a window one time. I had to go to the ER.
Is that real?
yeah.
Because of stand up?
Because stand up.
Yeah.
I remember you telling the story. Yeah.
Did you already tell it on the pod?
I'll tell it again. Who cares? I don't think you have actually though.
It's not very long.
If you have, I think it was maybe
I had
earlier.
a set in Houston at this place called Avant Garden, and I don't know what happened. It was just one of those nights where the crowd was good and I just didn't have a good set, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was like frustrated, so there was like a glass door, and I didn't really mean to shatter it, but I did put some extra mustard when I opened it, you know. And then my
Damn.
hand went straight through the glass.
I thought you punched it, but you went like you tried to like
Yeah, I
shove
just
it
kind
open.
of like shoved it open.
Oh, in my
and
mind
then it
you, like,
shattered.
fucking-
But to everybody else in the room, they saw me have a bad set and then walked straight to the door and fucking.
You were slamming your head going, stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah. And then so I
That's
was like
so
bleeding,
funny.
like I was like bleeding from the wrist.
Jesus
And so I was like
Christ.
scurrying to my car.
Did you scream? You're like ah.
No, I mean,
And then he got on all fours. And
I think it hurts. I was pretty quiet, but maybe I was just in shock.
Yeah.
I was like walking back to my car, and then the
Right.
bartender like chased me down.
Wow.
He was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna fuck you up."
Oh
and then
my
I turned
God.
around, and I was like, "I'm already fucked up."
I'm dying.
And then he was like, "Oh, okay, all right, okay." And then I
You
went to
threw
the ER and got stitches. Yeah.
blood.
Yeah.
Gross.
Wait, that is.
That's crazy.
I'm so confused why the bartender said they were gonna fuck you up. Like you made him.
You broke a door.
You broke a door.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's grounds for being like, yo, you destroyed property.
He chased me
You know?
pretty far, actually.
Like a mile. He ran.
Yeah. It was
I'm gonna
pretty
get
far. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because that's a much bigger blunder than saying the wrong thing to a comic.
Yeah, did you smash? Also,
Yeah, that's funny.
the way I would try to reclaim it, because I wouldn't want to look like I accidentally broke a door. I'd be like, yeah, no one fuck with me. I did this on purpose.
Wow. Did you ever perform at that show ever again, or that space?
Yeah.
went back?
I went back many times. I go back all the time. I went back that night.
They were scared of you.
I went back that night to apologize.
He said, I'm crazy.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I went because I went back home. I wasn't I didn't want to go to the ER, so I went back home and then I like cleaned
Damn.
the glass out of my arm and I wrapped it up
Jeez.
and I was like, that'll do it. And then my roommate convinced me to go back to apologize.
Wow.
So I went back to apologize and they were cool. And then as I was apologizing, I started bleeding again, and they
Wow.
were like, "You need to go to the ER." So I went
Yeah.
to the ER. Yeah.
Are you glad you went back and apologized?
I think it was good for my conscience.
Yeah.
Conscience. Yeah,
for sure.
Mhm.
That is true. I also think going back and performing at the same space, diluting an event is like the
Yeah.
best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Just going back and
Yeah.
being like, this is not my one memory at this place.
Redeeming yourself.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
You did it. I'm proud of you. Do you have a scar from the thing?
You can kind of see it.
Kind of
right
see it.
there.
Oh
It's
shit! You
healed,
can really
yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
Whoa! It's
You
like on
can see
the
it
bottom
in
of his
corner
wrist.
there,
And I
missed
just
all
thought
the
you were
veins.
super emo.
Yeah.
But bad
Wow,
at
Vic,
it.
what are
Yeah.
all these other cuts on your arm?
Just all
Very
different bombs
crazy.
that I've had over the years.
I'm going to start doing that.
It's like rings of a tree. You're just like, oh, that's
In
year
front of-
3. That's year 2.
Brother, I would run out of skin immediately.
That's
Oh my
fun.
god.
That's a fun
Yeah.
blunder.
That's a
Yeah.
fun,
That's a fun
blunder.
Mine concerns you, Meredith Dietz. It happened last night.
Yeah.
I don't-
I love to hear this because he did this last time, and it was like, hey, I had
Oh,
a
yeah.
blunder in front of you. It was really embarrassing. Then he told me, I didn't even notice it when it happened.
How reassuring
so
is that
small.
for you?
Yeah.
To be like, well, what's so funny is
It's reassuring.
Art was talking, and I was like, oh, was it this thing you did? And he was like, oh, no. How about this thing?
Yeah.
Nope. Wait, I really fucked up last night. No, well, the one that you brought up was interesting, and that I called someone out for me not responding to them via text.
You didn't call them out. I
called myself out.
It was.
I me too'd myself.
Yeah.
That is exactly what that is.
Morgan Spurlock.
Welcome
did
to the
that.
movement.
Nice.
No,
nice.
I think that We don't have to talk about that one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Tell me what.
Yeah, that
thing
one's,
is,
like,
'cause
uninteresting.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, okay, I don't know if we should name. I won't name their name. I'll give them. I'll give them a fake name. Let's say her name is Kate. Okay, so Kate was.
She doesn't look like a Kate.
What does she look
All right,
like?
what about Melanie? Do you
name
know any
is
Melanies?
Vivian.
Vivian.
Whoa.
That's a good friend of mine. Okay, Vivian. I was gonna say her last name. I'm not gonna say her last name. Okay, Vivian. Viv goes by Viv. Vivian Tran. Vivian.
That's me.
Vivian Van Tran. Okay, so anyway, we were chatting, and Vivian was like, "I need to go out. I need to go home. I can't stay for the hang after the show." It was like post-show hang, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm peeing blood." Do you remember now, Meredith?
Oh, classic
Yes.
Vivian.
Yes, yeah. So she said, "I'm."
Also, who does this name change help? Because if our fake Vivian hears it, I'm pretty sure she's gonna remember telling you that she was peeing blood.
Oh no, it's more so people don't know her shit and like
Fair,
talk
fair,
to
fair.
her about it. I don't care if she knows that
Oh,
she was
also, you
involved.
guys don't have listeners, so.
Well, we have a good 12 listeners.
I was kidding.
Nah,
No,
hey,
that's
it's
my new blunder.
you know we're growing.
Hey,
Okay.
tell me more about this piss and blood.
Yeah, so she said she was pissing blood, and I was like, oh my god, are you like okay? And then Meredith, you were there, and you're like, oh, she had surgery, and I
I
was
don't
like,
think I said that.
no, I think you were the one who like she just had surgery.
Okay.
I think, or one of you guys, it doesn't matter
Either
who.
way.
Yeah, either way. Someone said like they just had surgery, and I was like, oh, did you get surgery on your pee hole? And then Meredith was like, Art, don't say that. And I'm like, what? I thought she pissed blood. The logical jump is that she has surgery on her pee hole. What else would it be?
I can see that. I can
What?
see that. I don't know.
Did she get punched in the kidney? Like, I don't know.
Any one of her many organs?
But I felt really bad. I felt
Why?
really bad. And then and I think Meredith was in the right here. Because what a crazy thing to say, Jeff. Who gets surgery on the pee hole? I know a few people, but that doesn't matter, all right?
Oh, I'm giggling over here. That's so funny. I also just hearing the true defensiveness in your tone right now from like a logic standpoint. You're like, oh, someone's pissing blood. I'm crazy. I'm crazy for asking a girl if she got surgery on her pee hole. I'm crazy. Well, I'm the crazy one.
I feel bad. I feel bad, which I'm like, well, okay. I want to know. I want to explore why I feel bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it is a tricky situation for anyone to navigate where whatever because when someone says something that is like has to do with their body, any follow-up could be potentially invasive.
Sure.
And you have to just like follow their lead for how oh my god, I just remembered something. How did I not come up with a blunder for this pod when I'm like, I've literally been pregnant? That's crazy.
That's not a blunder. That's a success.
But I do think
Miracle of birth.
as someone who did material about that, I got like, it seemed like I was more comfortable talking about my body than I was.
Right.
And then people would like, I was drawing a line like here. So a lot of people I talked to, especially men, would then ask questions that were here. A little bit over the line.
Okay.
I'm doing, for the listeners at home, I'm doing a kind of physical thing with my hand that doesn't actually make sense or help.
Like draw a line, and then you're saying pass the line.
Oh, past the line
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing the cool thing with your hands where you write blood, but I can't do that.
Yeah, it's, she's doing like a Naruto thing instead.
Yeah. It actually says pissing blood. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, pretty
Missing
cool.
blood. But I think that's a hard situation to do. But also it's like, I think I said art because one, I think it's funny to say instead of like, did you get surgery or like, oh, something with like your urethra, you went pee hole. But also,
yeah, I did. I do feel bad. I felt like it was untactful.
yes, which is
something I
territory
suffer
you're
with.
used to.
I do suffer with that. Yeah.
I wished
I
you
did
had
really mess
waited
up.
to talk
Shit.
everything about Wildwood with me because there was so
I
much
know.
stuff.
We could just re-record talking again.
Re-record it again. It was so
for the
funny.
Patreon.
God damn.
It was very funny. Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts on? Well, okay. Let's talk about this pee hole thing first. Yeah. That's a true blunder. I really fucked up. I probably shouldn't have said pee hole, right?
I don't think it's anything that person will really
Vivian.
remember. I don't think
Yeah.
that's a true blunder. I think that's
Okay.
a momentary like. What does anyone say to this for
Yeah.
everyone
Right.
involved?
I
I think
really
you were
spiraled for a second.
invited. You were invited to say something outrageous. Because like,
Right.
where do you go from pissing blood?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
That's where my logic. went.
And it's like I guess like we're on comic bit mode all
Yes,
the time, but I
exactly.
guess like the thing that a normal person would do would be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry,"
Yeah.
and then like would leave it. But we're like, "Oh, you're pissing blood. Are you shitting cum?" Like, you know.
sick.
Sorry, I had to heighten.
That
right
would have been
there.
good. That would have been
Yeah,
good.
they botched the surgery, connected the tubes
I'm gonna
wrong.
text her.
It's okay.
No, I understand. I think I'm quick to spiral about little things like
Yeah.
that.
She's also like I'm not like so worried about because she's so sweet. You know
And
what
chill,
I mean?
and also
Yeah.
you also are sweet and chill. So there's nothing about it that was like.
I did say sorry. I was like, oh, sorry. Like on the side, I was like, I'm so sorry for saying that. She's like, no, it's cool.
I'm so sorry. That was without tact.
Yeah, it was untactful.
Art's reading from a note card because he's doing it so often.
She's like, which note card is this? Pee hole. Yeah.
You have a
my
little-
Rolodex.
Yeah.
Just whip
Pee hole?
conversation topics.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it sucked that she had surgery.
On her
There was
pee-hole.
also I'm debating about blowing up her spot a little more. I mean, her name's Vivian, right? Vivian,
Yes.
quote unquote. Do you remember the first time we all like sort of met outside of
Yes, I
Fiction
do.
Bar?
I would not talk about that one. On
Okay, you know what I'm talking about though?
I 1,000% because I also blundered
right.
well,
in that situation.
I mean, this seems ripe for the podcast.
But she's like not here. I don't want to talk
Okay,
too much.
okay.
We'll
I
talk,
know,
we'll talk
no,
after.
but I'm haunted right now. It's one
Yeah,
where
yeah.
just
it was uncomfortable.
making
awkward.
someone repeat like one of the most tragic things
Tra-
happening in their
trauma-
life
Yeah.
over and over and over because another comic came up and was
Yep.
like, "What were you guys talking about?" And over she had to say this horrible family
Yep.
tragedy again.
Right, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm not really cool saying that." Yeah.
And we had all
That's
just
so
met her. I was like,
good.
"Oh my God!" And I also was someone who was doubling down. I was like, a knife.
Okay,
into
well,
my
in the
chest.
2 stories that I've heard about Vivian, she seems like a bit of an oversharer. All right.
She's
She
not.
seems sweet,
She's
but
really not.
the
It's
2
just, like,
stories
very
that I've heard
normal.
was I'm pissing blood and my mommy died.
Well,
I don't know if
think
it's
what
mommy.
what?
Sorry. Yeah,
people
sorry,
blow
sorry.
up people's spots
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
and I think she unfortunately is that kind of person where people just blow up her spot sometimes. you know?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
also. Do you feel like you get your spot blown up? Do you feel like you get your back blown out?
I do feel like my back gets blown out pretty frequently.
So you are a
but I
bottom.
kind of like it. No, I don't think so. I feel like I get, or if I do, I don't even notice. I feel like I don't really care too much about my life being talked about. You know.
Becoming more of an open book is the best thing that ever happened.
Oh,
to
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right.
I mean, probably I'm gonna in a few years do this podcast again when it's bigger, and I'm going to when it's at the exact same level it is now. But you guys are more.
Oh,
impressive.
thousands and thousands of views. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Come back.
And be like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said so much personal detail on mic.
I don't know.
But at the same time, when it's I think the issue comes in is when you implicate someone else. So I'm fine
Yes.
talking about myself, but then I think if my parents heard some of the things I've said,
Right.
they'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"That's our family shit."
Yeah.
Don't. But then we're like,
I think
so-
about that too.
we do so much public-facing stuff all the
Yeah.
time. I feel pretty desensitized.
I think this is a hot take. I think if you have kids, you're opening it up for them to talk shit about you in
That's
public.
so funny.
I want
Yeah.
them.
I love that take.
I
I
think
don't
you
think
should.
I don't think it's true, but it is.
Nah, fuck them.
I've been.
I didn't choose to be born. Okay, this is what you get.
And now I'm airing our dirty laundry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Screw
Well, what about
you.
if you have kids? Are you able to talk about them? I would not.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's
It'd
you
ruin their life.
choose. You chose to have them.
Well, I also think for our parents
Yeah.
in particular, the.
Except for you, you're an accident.
Are you an accident?
I think me and all of my siblings were all 3 for 3
6 of 'em.
accidents.
Big
That's
three.
okay.
Really?
Yeah.
But then at one point, it's like.
At a certain point, yeah, you're like, we'll have a kid. We'll see
Dude,
what
to
happens.
me, as a middle child, I'm like, how could I have been an accident? Because if you didn't want the first or you didn't want the last,
Yeah.
but like the one, I'm right in the middle. You
Yeah.
wouldn't have had one before me or after me if you didn't want me.
I'm confident that I was a
Right?
mistake.
Why would if you didn't want
Oh.
me? Why would you have had my little sister?
Just to have
Yeah.
a lot of sex.
No,
Raw
that's-
dog it.
That's my parents.
What's the age
Yeah, blow 'em
difference?
up.
What's the gap between you and your
I'm
siblings?
positive I was not. It's like 2.5 years and 2 years. It's all.
Okay.
Oh, that seems
Yeah.
pretty deliberate.
Pretty
then.
yeah.
even,
I'm pretty positive.
That makes sense.
That's
Yeah.
not a mistake.
It's me, and then 7 years to my sister, and then 20 years
yeah,
to
it's
my
long.
brother. My brother's
long
20
time.
years younger than me.
20 years younger than you?
Yeah.
No.
I thought it was
kidding.
18.
Well, like 19 and a half. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait,
That
what
matters.
year were they born?
Before, after.
Yeah.
I
I think my brother was born in 2012.
that's crazy.
I didn't know that was possible.
I just graduated. I was in
Yeah.
college. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
crazy. I was in
Yeah.
high school, but I'm much, much younger than you guys.
I thought you were like 45.
See?
You sure look it.
Actually, that's the thank you. That is the blunder that I thought of, not walking into it, but during
Yeah.
this conversation,
Okay.
was one that I remember because I really, really felt just so weird and bad about it. Do you remember that time that we had our boy barbecue, me and my two roommates who are girls, and then
Yeah.
we invited like you and
Yeah.
Fern and Jake and everyone, and for some reason
Jesse was
us three
there,
girls
right?
Uh-huh.
for somehow having a little like, and this was like things really still just opening up, so it was like a backyard
Yeah.
barbecue
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And it was, for some reason, we all accidentally only invited men. So it was us three girls hosting
Wow.
like
I never
10
thought about
men.
that. That's
Oh, we did. 'cause I
so
was like,
funny.
Who's gonna
Damn
cook
it.
all this meat?
I was gonna, nope, reined it in. Filter, we're developing.
No,
We
no,
didn't
not for
all
the
show up
pod,
with
not for
aprons
the
and
pod.
spatulas, so
But
didn't
I
supposed
was-
to work.
I was 24, and then everything had just opened up, so I missed,
Wow.
in the pandemic, I did not get to be my full 23-year-old annoying self in public. So I think I was like, so already the worst age a person can be is 23, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was a really young 23. Well, because you act like a teenager, but you think you're an adult.
Wow.
And you can be friends
Ooh.
with, and it's
Wow.
so fucking annoying.
I never thought about that.
Oh, it's the worst.
22, 23, I think, yeah. Okay.
And you are still kind of working in like the social rules of like high school and college, and not the real world, where the way you get to know people is asking like, where did you go to school? And it's
Yeah,
like, what
yeah,
if that
yeah.
person didn't go to school? Like
Yeah.
your
Right.
world, your bubble is small, but you're being allowed to talk to much better.
But yeah, yeah.
Which so it's horrifying, and I think
It's all about adjusting to that bigger world, baby.
I genuinely feel like an older 26 right now because I was such a rancid 23. And I had to.
Rancid.
Rancid, good word.
Thank you. I looked
Like
in
you
the mirror and
smell
said
bad.
it. Deranged, whatever. But there, at that, I was being like very obnoxious, and I remember at that party, what party? It was like we were all sitting around in a circle. Not everyone really knew each other, but it was
Yeah.
like. I went around and like said like I think I know everyone's age, and I said everyone's, and like I remember my roommates were like, that was so obnoxious. That's not like fun for people. And it was, they were completely true.
So
They
you were
said
like
that?
24, 29,
But then I was
30.
like, yeah, you're 30. And I was probably like, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's
And-
also not, that's a very normal thing to do,
It-
I feel like, right?
But
No.
my roommates are non-comics, where people's ages don't feel so
Important.
tied to like
Yeah.
measuring our success or how
Right,
long
right,
we have
right.
left.
Yeah.
yeah.
Before we kill ourselves, yeah.
And I feel like we all talk about age and joke about it all the time.
Yeah.
But it's very annoying for the young person to be like, you're old. And that's how I'm impersonating myself, because
Yeah.
that's how I think I was presenting. And I'm cringing thinking about it now. It was just really
Yeah.
baby-like and superficial and dumb and weird, and I hate it.
Right.
Right.
That happened to us at Black Cat. Remember when, not to blow up her name, let's say
Vivian.
Vivian too. She asked about our ages. The barista asked about our ages, and then she
Yes.
heard my age.
And she freaked out.
She was like, "What?" Yeah.
Yeah.
But that
And then
happens
you said,
to you. Oh, what did I say?
"Well, you said that's a very 22-year-old thing to say," and I was like, "Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I guess it is." Never
Because
thought about
I
it.
did the same thing to
Yeah,
30-year-olds
yeah.
where I was like, I thought 30-year-olds died.
It's so funny. I've never thought about. I've never
Yeah.
worried too much about it. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I
That's
think
cool.
women are made to worry about it a lot.
Women be aging.
Women be Asian.
God, I wish they put that in the Barbie movie, because they did not address that. I would have learned a thing or two.
I was surprised when I found out your age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that we were the same age.
Yeah, kind of. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a little older. Not to brag. But yeah, you're saying that happens to me a lot. People get shocked about my age.
Yes, I think.
Yeah. I have a youthful energy, that's for sure.
What did Terry
Yeah.
say last, Mike?
Pee hole.
Damn.
Pee hole.
Yeah, well, like, what else do you call it? Urethra? God, disgusting.
Well, what if you just didn't ask her about it?
Yeah, it doesn't need a follow-up question.
Yeah. You're right. Oh, you piss blood? Crazy. That's crazy.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, don't feel pressured to hang.
Ever.
No, you're right. I
Wow.
probably should just let it slide.
I will say also with age and stuff, it's like
Yeah.
we're all doing comedy and being like in New York, it's like such an equalizer.
Yeah.
Versus like talking to, I have friends who are like 26, but like married in the South, and they are much older than my like 33-year-old
Yes.
friends that I'm going to Mike's.
They
with every night.
act
Yeah.
older.
Yeah,
Okay.
and in a way, everyone's version of happiness is different.
Yeah.
What if you met like a 50-year-old guy who acts he's like 25? Would that be like bad?
50-year-old man acting 25.
I feel like I see that a lot in Brooklyn.
Yeah, what
You know what I
part
mean?
of him is acting 25?
Just like his aesthetics.
That peener.
I don't know what's so wrong to have silly words. Let's say that.
I think if someone's like 50, I like when they are not, for any gender, like not clinging to their youth. But I'm like, if you're, of course, we can be in the same space doing mics, learning from each other and stuff. But like, I'd rather you lean into the fact that you're like, I'm 50, fuck you 25-year-olds. These are real issues.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's funny. It's weird when they're 50 and they're like, I'm one of you
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
forcing fitting in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all about knowing yourself and what you like and just following that journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And just not attaching too much significance to it and not making anyone feel insecure about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I hated turning 30 because I feel like there's so many like expectations that didn't feel real. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it was similar to like trying to like define masculinity in a way. It's like, what does that mean? Like, what does turning 30 mean? But everyone like wants to know, like, what are your thoughts? Like, how are you gonna be 30? It's like, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
There's nothing less masculine than defining masculinity.
Beg to differ.
Yeah.
I
right,
love
go
when
ahead.
men put words around the prison they're in.
The panopticon.
Prison, that's a masculine word.
Yeah, boys.
Prison and rancid.
Boys.
Yeah.
I think
Those
one
are
of the most
dude-
beautiful things you can do is be like,
A boy?
is be a boy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to unpack that right now. I do think that being like, I love that turning 30 is not making me spiral and that
Yeah.
it doesn't have as much depth as people want it to have.
Yeah.
Are you
Sick.
turning 30?
No, I'm just thinking for
Oh,
no, and
shit.
I
10 years
and
away.
Fingers
Okay, I
crossed, I
turned
never
30.
did.
I was like,
Never
whoa.
did.
Yeah.
I just think
All
that
right.
that is a funny like that we make that number such a benchmark.
Yeah,
when
that's
it-
what.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
the
insane.
idea that like things and here's the thing, there are certain, it's a good point to be like, ooh, I should grow up in this way.
Right.
Maybe I'm in a place where I do get a high yield saving account if I don't have one yet when you're 30.
Oh, wow.
That kind of thing, I think is
That's better than what I did.
which was
Start a podcast.
No, this is the perfect time to start the podcast.
you don't have a podcast.
The better
yet.
time was yesterday. That was the second best.
But I mean, I think about it where like, especially, and maybe this is more like the women's side of it with like biological clock, where people are like, oh, you should be, if not married, like dating the person you're going to marry when you're 30.
Yeah.
And it's like, which is, I was just talking about this with my mom and my dad separately, because I think I said something like, oh, I might not have kids. And my mom was just like, you will. I was like,
Okay.
the certainty that I was very eye rolly. And
Did you respond to that? You're like, well.
What did she mean by that?
meaning you're young and having fun right now. How I
She's gonna
interpret
get pregnant on accident.
What if my parents didn't listen to this one?
You think they will?
Maybe I just won't promo it
Oh, wow. we that's the only reason why we had you.
to get my parents listen.
We'll bleep it out.
I think she meant it like you think you're immune to like these like traditional desires, but they are gonna hit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Interesting.
They
Like you're
exist for a
young and
reason.
living in New York.
Right.
But then again, she did not understand the extent to which I do stand up until I was describing
Right.
the Wildwood weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I really think my parents will not understand what we're doing until I have something like a Netflix special to show
stories.
for it.
Yeah.
And that's not to say they don't support me. They support
Right,
the hell
right.
out of me. But like even just by the questions they ask, I'm like, you really don't know what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
Parents don't get it, though. I kind of, They just don't get it.
There's a lot. There's like a lot to know about it. It would be
Yeah.
crazy to expect anybody to understand
Oh,
what this is.
1,000%. I would never
Yeah,
expect
yeah.
it. It's just, it's funny because I think they want to talk about my day job, and I'm like, the equivalent of you talking about day job to my sisters, talk about comedy with me.
Sure.
Because that's where I have something to say
Yeah,
and like
yeah, yeah.
stories and stuff.
Oh, that's
Wow.
great. That's really great.
Interesting.
Your parents may not listen to this, but I'll send this to my parents.
Oh,
Yeah,
yay.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna send it to your parents for sure. They deserve to hear it. They're a beautiful little girl.
I keep
And her beautiful little girl.
and those jokes I had about getting pregnant at one point.
Just jokes. Never
Silly
happened.
jokes.
Never happened.
Maybe I'll reveal that when I get a tattoo eventually, and
Yeah.
then I'll be like, "You think this is bad?"
yeah.
You don't even know what happened on the inside.
Just keep going, and they can't. Yeah, like shock them to numbness. You know what I mean?
Shock them to numbness. Blunt force
My
trauma.
daughter, who,
But
whatever.
No, even what I'm saying right now, this is like what we're talking about, where it's like I think my parents would be horrified by the way I'm joking right now,
Right.
Yeah.
and like the lack of privacy. But I like. Blunders are a lot easier to swallow when you're like, I'm just not a sensitive, private person about a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to like you're free from the cringe. You'll never actually you'll never
yeah.
actually cringe,
I
or
think
you
that's
don't.
so
Yeah.
important.
You can recognize it, but you're just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
I will say though, and I've said this before on the pod, like this podcast has made me like focus on blunders more, and I'm like thinking about it all
Oh,
week.
Yeah.
that
and I'm like, what am I
sucks.
gonna say about it? No, it's actually it's kind of healing in a way. Cause
Yeah.
you're
Every
just
Sunday, I set some time aside to spiral.
like, yeah, this is therapy.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you guys asked the prompt, I didn't spiral a little bit, but my mind only went to big life things. I couldn't think
Yeah.
of like I said the wrong thing.
Which is
Yeah.
I think, well, we've like talked about our big things already. So
Uh-huh.
Right.
big things are good. That's why we like guests coming on with big things, because then we can learn about you.
yeah.
Who the fuck you think you are?
and where do you get
Yeah,
off?
where do you get off?
and how do
Gotta
you
know
get
your,
off?
your damn place.
And why do you get off?
Yeah.
The reporter's
Whoa.
questions.
Yeah. Did you have a big one? A big blunder that's on your mind? Because that'd be fun to get into.
I mean, the bigger one. I mean, I texted my friends being like,
Yeah.
what should I
love
talk
it.
about?
They came in paragraphs.
I mean, I did.
So
You
much.
gotta show the camera.
Show Britta like, don't you wish you kept your baby?
Okay.
And then there's
One that's already born.
there's some men's
We'll get him
names
on the pod.
We'll get
in
him on the
invisible
pod.
ink.
Yeah. Oh, that you haven't read, or have you read?
No, I'm just like there. It's invisible ink, and then it's just a boy's name, and I'm like, well, I'm actually not going to talk about that.
Okay.
Did you regret not starting? This is my friend Molly. Did you regret not starting stand up earlier than you did? That's probably not fun to talk about, though.
Oh.
And I'm like, of course,
Molly.
I actually have the
Molly,
opposite.
Molly.
I wish I started later.
Like at 50.
because
Yeah.
because can I guess?
Sure.
No, actually, you tell me. It was gonna be me projecting.
Okay, well, you probably would have hit it on the head. It's very. I started when I was 19, and I felt like looking back, I didn't really have much to talk about.
Yeah, that's a very common.
I didn't really have
Yes.
a life.
A lot of
to
high
draw
schoolers
upon.
who start.
Yeah,
who are
yeah.
like, yeah, I didn't
Uh-huh.
know what to
How old
say.
were you when you started ours?
Like 31. No, 20. It was 2016. I started doing improv. 2018 I started doing stand. I guess I took a stand-up class in college. Does that count? Did you just count that?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, yeah. I
Whenever
think
you
like
regularly
seriously,
started doing
2018,
like the grind.
2018. How old was I then? 25.
Okay, yeah. I think that's a good time to start.
24, 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I
Little,
guess.
little older.
And my taste as a 19-year-old were not good.
Yeah.
Of course
Yeah.
not. Whose are?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a thing of at least I'm grateful in many ways because when you first start, you're like, why don't I have a bigger spotlight on me? I'm
Yeah.
ready to go viral. But now
Yes.
I'm like, the clips I was posting and the things I was saying, thank God I'm kind of proving myself to be a slow burn,
Yeah, yeah,
steady comic because I do
Uh-huh.
not need any more scrutiny on me than I already
Yes.
have.
I think
I
about
already
that
feel
too.
like I've fucked up certain shows local shows that I've been asked to do because I'm like, I wish I had been asked now and not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the chicken egg because I
Right.
have gotten better because
You needed
I
those
was
shows.
I was
Uh-huh.
bad at those
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yes, I'm like
Fascinating.
it is, but I'm
Yeah.
like
It's crazy.
overall I'm glad that I'm none of the three of us are someone that had like a big momentum moment. We've all just been
Uh-huh.
like steadily like I'm getting better and I have
Yeah.
I have some big W's and I
Yeah.
got some big
Some
L's.
L's.
Some big ass what?
Some big ass L's.
Oh, I thought you were
Losses.
never mind.
What were you
Big
gonna say? L, like I was saying L and I was
Big
gonna say something in
ass.
Spanish.
Big ass El Diablos.
Some big ass El Vamos.
El Bombos. Bombas. Does that mean boobs in Spanish?
Bombas? I don't know. I only know
Well, then
cheese
then
man.
I got some big ass El Bombas.
Camera adds 10 pounds to the boobs.
Yeah, the camera adds 10 pounds in all the right places.
All the right places. My freaking forehead.
My
It's so
brain.
big.
My brain.
It's vein. That's what I'm thinking.
I regret you not talking to that booker honestly about Lauren's physical traits that you were most attracted to. You had to make a joke about her mind and personality.
Yeah.
I wish you had dissected your girlfriend's body type.
Back at the
Wildwood, New
trip.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Anyway, yeah, none of the big ones. Any of the big ones that stick out to you?
Well, my friend Charlotte said, leaving me to vomit alone to hook up with Chip, not his name, the first time. I don't think of this as regretful, but I think you might.
Do you view that as a mistake, or
yes, I think there have been a number of times, especially in that college age of like just being basic and choosing. Which we all did, choosing being horny over like a friend who was visiting me.
Yeah.
Oh, you like ditched? Okay, you ditched.
I ditched her while she was vomiting, left her with my roommate, and then went and hooked up with this person because I had this idea of like, oh, he wants to hook up with me. I have to go. You know?
I don't know.
I think that's a regret. I should have stayed with my friend and not chosen being horny.
But you left her with another friend, right? You said.
Yeah, I still think it's a crazy. I mean, it's funny. She's not mad.
Yeah.
And it's a very. I'm not someone who still does that. It's a very funny drunken like. That's
what you think.
Of course, I did that. You know.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Right. I don't know. I feel like if I were your friend, I'd be like, oh, I get it. I totally get it.
I also think
gotta
that.
get yours.
But you gotta get yours. But also
Yeah.
like, I hope now I'm not someone who chooses.
Wait, you want to reenact that? I'll be the vomiting friend. And you'll be the Chip.
I'll be Chip.
Yeah.
We're gonna hook up.
Yeah. I'm
Oh wait,
vomiting.
no. You're hook. Wait.
Who am I? Are you fucking pervert cuck? I'm not gonna kiss Art right now.
Oh no,
We're
yeah, you
gonna
don't have to
hook up.
touch. Yeah. Just that instant of you
was Chip
choosing.
there?
Like, what are you gonna do?
No, he was texting me,
Oh.
and I was like, and my friend was vomiting. And
I'll be Meredith. Okay, go. Fuck you. See you later, you loser. I'm gonna
have fun.
I'm gonna get boned. I'm gonna get raw dogged by Chip.
I mean, I was beating her with a broom.
Like that
Fuck
GIF.
you. Don't
30
say
Rock.
GIF.
Like that GIF.
GIF.
Did you give?
Traffic.
Oh wow.
Oh. Oh.
Wow.
No, the mental thing that
What's
just happened
so
in my
wow?
head. You said don't say GIF like he said a slur, and I was like, what is a GIF?
Art, you can't say that.
It's like a really pale person.
That's really offensive to
With
me.
red hair. A Jiffer.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to do ginger, so that's good. That's fine.
Ginger. Anyway,
Lord.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, no, that's not a big. That's not a
That's
big
a good
blunder.
one. That's a good
That's
one.
not
Let-
a
That's just like, well, that's part of the pod. Like,
We'll do a speed round.
yeah, speed round. I mean,
Throw
bad
some more out
circumstances
there.
count. That's a bad circumstance.
Yeah.
No one was winning there. You know what I mean?
remember
Except for
she-
you.
Yeah, I got laid. You don't have many things I can make fun of beyond typing 69 on your computer to tell me that you had oral sex. I remember we were in class
love
and she
that.
said, "How was your weekend?" And I pulled up a Word document and I wrote
69.
because that's what I had done
Okay.
for the first time. Oh my God!
Oh, so
Actually,
you
this is a good
69?
story.
You didn't mess up. You just told her the truth.
But it's a funny way to deliver the information.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
And
right.
it's like, I remember, I think this is a very like high school thing of like, no one's going to ask you what you want directly. So like, I remember the first time I drank, I'd called my older sister and I was like, what's your like favorite flavor of Four Loko? Because I had watermelon, and she was like, "So are you telling me that you drank alcohol for the first time?" As if I have like opinions on it. Instead of being like, "Allie, I drank." I was like, "Oh my God, I love the watermelon one, but I'm a gin girl." You know what I mean?
Try to be like cool about it.
You
Yeah.
have to be cool about it.
Act like you've been there before.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think the most high school thing to do is
It's kind of endearing.
have negative opinion, like to be like, "Ugh, you guys like gin, I guess."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Acting like you
I'm
have
more
taste.
of a blank kind of
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
I think I feel like I'm
interesting.
remembering that is 69 event was iconic because I was really good at it. No,
The whole school's talking about it.
because it was like a house party when someone's parents were away, and
This is
then
in college?
high school,
High school, got it.
and then somebody
That is kind of a big deal in high school, I feel like.
we did it in
kinda
a
cool.
closet, a big walk-in situation.
Yeah, I was like, did you do it standing up? That's crazy.
I did 69 hot
Yeah,
dog
what
style.
the hell?
He was holding my ankle.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Honestly,
He was also really tall, so it had to lift you.
he was 6'4".
Okay.
Whoa.
Miss him. No.
So, did you-
And
so did he kneel or he like squat a bit? Or
Yeah, we didn't 69. That was just his height.
yeah,
He's
6'9".
He was
6'9".
6'9".
and maybe my vertical. But That'd be so funny if someone was tall enough that I could give head standing up. But I actually, the thing is, I don't actually want to ever do that. Sorry, I really
Like
don't.
walk into a
Walk
two
into
girls
a dick.
walk into a bar.
Two girls walking in a dick. We were cleaning up after the party, and everyone was like, "Okay, whatever space you fouled up, that's where you have to clean."
Oh wow.
So I had the
Interesting.
closet.
So organized.
It was,
Yeah.
and I was like, "All right, let me clean up the closet, vacuum, make sure everything's in place." I close the door of the closet. We go back to school. No one is living at that house for a few days because the parents were on vacation.
Yeah.
And we come back, and the person who was cat sitting that house, the cat who lived there was a micro kitten, permanent
Whoa.
perma cat
Yeah.
named Puddins. No G.
Puddins.
Probably was supposed to weigh, how much should a micro cat weigh?
4 pounds?
4 or 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Was found in the closet after a
Oh
few
shit.
days,
Oh my god, no.
down to 1 pound. And everyone was like, who
No.
killed Puddins? Lived. So let me spoil the ending.
Whoa.
Yo, let's
Did
go.
not die.
Whoa.
But
Holy
everyone
shit.
was like, well, we were like, oh my god, who would have left Puddins in the closet? Who would have been the last person in the closet?
Oh,
And
no.
Everyone was like, Meredith, 69 in the
No.
closet. So the 69 was
Yo.
killed a cat
Oh my god.
for 0 orgasms.
You almost
Yeah.
fucked a kitten to death.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
death, and for also just
Holy
not a
shit.
cat but a micro kitten,
Micro
named
kitten, yeah.
Puddins, and it was
Wait, what did the cat eat? Like
and
cum?
Puddins was also the fuck you. Any cum was cleaned up, but
Wow.
I removed all
It was
forms
everywhere,
of sustenance,
right?
But also
It's
like
cum everywhere.
there was some. I think what was interesting was for a few years we talked about it and we were like, we don't know who did it, but because the closet was where the cleaning supplies were, so people were moving in and out, so there was like reason to doubt that it was my fault. I knew in my heart I was the last person in that closet, and that was my
Wow.
territory to
Yeah,
check
yeah.
and everything. And also, Puddins being trapped in the closet was what got us caught for the whole party.
Wow.
It was the one thing that the parents were like, "Will someone?"
Oh,
you
you
guys were in
really
the party."
fucked up.
Yeah.
I forgot about this. This
Did
is
y'all
such a
throw a
great
party
blunder.
because our cat lost 75% of
Yeah,
its body?
yeah. Wait, whoa. Wait, so was the cat hiding?
Was the cat hiding?
How
I
did
think
you-
the cat was a pervert.
The
cat was watching.
Yeah, peeping pudding.
Peeping pudding. Oh, there it is.
Peeping Puddins.
Probably jerking off while watching you.
Probably. Don't say that. Puddins is to me permanently a child. You know.
Wait, yeah,
Yeah,
you banged the cat, right?
micro-child.
Stop. Art. Pee hole.
Yo.
That's gonna be our code for when I think you're saying.
Peel.
When I think your word choice. Sometimes it's
Not
not
being
what you
tactful.
say; it's your word choice.
Yeah, well, I got amazing
Which
word
is
choice.
what he says.
Which is what he
Word
says.
choice is
Word
what you
choice
say.
is-
But if I say it very formally,
Uh-huh.
pee hole,
Pee hole.
pee hole,
Pee-hole.
British accent.
Formally is just the
Heyo.
accent.
Wait, that's hilarious. Did you get in a lot of trouble for that?
I didn't, because this was boarding high school and I was a boarding student. And this is
Ah.
when my friends, they were a day student. So everyone who lived there and like the parents were friends got in trouble.
Wow.
I was a
You're
drifter.
gone.
No one was going to
Wait,
call
that's
my
hilarious.
parents.
You have to
Unless
stay
a-
away from those board school students.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
They're a
yeah.
negative influence.
Wait,
on
that's
you.
amazing. You're just like, I'm chilling. Who
There
fucking
was
cares?
no
no consequence.
I completely got caught some summers. They're still in my at home. It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
And there's still the handle of Smirnoff that my dad found in my room.
Amazing.
Wow.
But I couldn't
Amazing.
tell him. He basically was just like, "Where did you get it?"
Yeah.
And I couldn't say because it was from. I worked at my dad's restaurant,
Oh,
and
yes.
we were servers, and one of the servers who was 21 got it for me,
Wow.
and I
Whoa.
didn't. She was like, "You cannot reveal it was me because
Yeah.
I'll get fired."
Fired.
Uh-huh.
Have you told your dad this? He knows about this now?
I was like, "I can't say where I got it from."
He still doesn't know.
No, but here's the thing. Looking back now, I'm an adult. Obviously, he knew which one it was.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the
Yeah,
cast
yeah,
of
yeah.
characters. So obvious. It was the lying and the secrecy. Was what I
Right.
apparently was in trouble for.
That's fair.
And my dad, I've heard so much from his childhood. He drank and smoked and did all
Right.
that stuff so much.
But like, couldn't be his daughter.
But I think he didn't care. It was the lying and
Yeah.
the I'm not going to snitch.
Just gotta be honest. Well, like, even if you told the truth, what, like, would he be pissed? He'd be like, "Oh, thanks for telling the truth."
In
You
my
get to- you get to
16-year-old
hang
heart,
out.
yeah, exactly. In my 16-year-old heart, I was like, I was gonna get in trouble anyway.
Yeah.
I at least won't go down as a snitch.
Which is also true.
Yes.
You would have
Yeah.
gone, yeah. So why not try to try to hide it.
Exactly. So I'm glad for myself,
Wow.
my morals, that I just.
Right.
But here's the thing: was I stoic and chill about it? No, I was having a meltdown.
Right.
I was crying and being like, "This is the end of the world."
This is about the Smirnoff bottle or the.
And getting in trouble.
Oh,
Wait, so what'd you
right,
tell
right.
him? You're like, oh, I don't know. there's
I
someone
can't
over
tell you. I was
Yeah.
saying I can't tell you,
there. Ah.
which
Yeah.
is so dramatic.
Yeah. I would have just lied.
And then my mom.
you don't know this person. They got it for the party.
I
had to
think
hide.
Casal. I was not a good liar.
How could they have not
shit.
found the cat for that long?
It was only.
That's a good question.
Well, no, do you know how much when I was 16, I was just fucking like, what cat sitter did you
much you were
hire?
fucking?
That was just, I was just like, how did they not go and
Yeah.
be like, Puddins hasn't eaten in days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This food is untouched. Were they
Yeah.
just adding food on top?
That's a
Right.
bad cat
That's a
sitter.
bad cat sitter.
Yeah.
Let's get him on the
course,
pod.
My friends weren't like, we were like, the cat sitter's the reason we got caught.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I didn't think about that. You're right. 3 days? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Days? That's crazy.
Assholes. Bad at their job.
They almost
Yeah.
killed the cat. I hope
Maybe
they
the
didn't get
cat
paid.
sitter put the cat in the closet.
Yeah.
I wish
to
I had
frame
framed-
you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably.
It's like, get out.
That sadistic piece of shit.
You're just trying
Wow.
to 69 in
I'm
peace.
just trying to 69 in style.
No 69, no peace. That's what I say.
Oh, art.
What? It's the truth.
Pee hole.
Pee hole, man. Pee hole.
Pee hole. That's true. Yeah. Wow. That's a good one. I like that one.
Thank
a great
you.
one.
I'm glad I knew I was prepping. I'm glad I spiraled prepping for this, being like,
Yeah.
why did I have a mental breakdown over this thing? But now I'm like,
Right.
no, I also made a bunch of silly little high
Yeah.
school mistakes.
And I feel like I'm learning. I didn't know that. I didn't know you're such a partier in high school. Such a little
I
ramp.
don't know if I was.
Scallion.
I think my grade was very like we were drinking
Rambunctious.
more than
Interesting.
I think maybe
Other, yeah.
But like I also have like high school
quell
friends
the stress.
to quell the stress.
You think that's true?
No, I think
Okay.
we just wanted to drink.
It was just the culture of high school.
And it was Virginia, and like it was a bunch of rich kids, and
Yeah. Did you guys do cocaine in high school?
no, definitely
Oh,
not.
interesting.
Did you?
Yeah, we didn't. No, we did not. But I knew. I went to school with a lot of like elite. I'm sure you did too.
The prep
Not so
school
much this
and all.
guy.
No, I couldn't have been. I went to high school in the teenage pregnancy capital of the
Yeah,
United
let's
States.
go.
Really?
Yeah. I'm on an
Yes.
episode of 16 and Pregnant. Yeah.
Are you for serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
who'd you get pregnant?
I was the baby. no, I
Accident parents.
No, it was a girl. I think I forgot her name, but yeah, they filmed at our school.
Wait, did you? Okay, wait. I have.
Yeah.
Wait, let's talk about this real quick. Wait, so were you didn't get anyone pregnant? Why are you on the show?
I didn't even get laid, much less.
We got Lauren
Pregnant.
laughing.
Yeah, I was not even close.
Wait.
Yeah, there was one night that so it's centered around this girl. I think her name was Allie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess she's on TV.
Yeah, you're able to dox somebody who was on MTV.
Right.
Yeah. She got pregnant, and then the episode was around her. They weren't allowed to film inside the high school. There's only one night they were allowed to film inside the school. That was homecoming night.
Okay.
And so there's one
what the hell?
shot. Did y'all ever watch that show, 16 and Pregnant?
For sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Remember how like when it would go to commercial, the frame would freeze and it would sort of sketch in.
Oh,
What's happening?
Okay.
That's such a fun flashback.
Okay.
Yes. So they're it's homecoming dance, and they have a shot of Allie and her baby daddy, and they're like slow dancing, and it's this moment where they've overcome the obstacle of her mother, and like love prevails, and so they're dancing, and then you just see this like small Asian kid who looks just like me still, and his face is blurred out, and he walks in.
Oh, blur it out. Come on.
Yeah, and then I'm just staring at their love for like a few minutes, and then it freezes, and
So
they sketch
funny.
them, and then they sketch me in the back.
Just
Oh
you?
my
Yeah. And
Dude,
that's-
I need
that's
you to
hilarious.
do the show tonight just so I can bring you up as you know him from MTV.
MTV?
16 and
and
Pregnant.
Yeah.
You have to say
That's
that
so
as one of
funny.
your credits.
I've done it a few times.
That's
I've
funny.
Done it a few times.
Dude,
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
on MTV as well. I'm not
Really?
even joking.
What
Yeah.
the hell? Really?
Dan, do you guys remember Dan Savage? Do you guys remember him? He's like a sex
No.
columnist, and he had a show on MTV for like 2 seasons where he went to a bunch of colleges and asked about the dating sex life
Okay.
at those
Oh.
colleges, and they interviewed
And
me.
you showed him your dog jaw?
I showed him my dong.
Do you
No.
know his dog jaw, Vic?
Have you done that?
Dog jaw?
Dog jaw? Oh, dude, touch my dog jaw. Touch it.
What?
Touch it.
Whoa, you did that on TV?
To Dan Savage,
Whoa.
famous sex guy. No, he.
Can I do it again? Yes. Oh shit! It's still phone the second time. Whoa. That's 2 podcasts where we've barked into the camera. Yeah.
Dog pod. Anyway,
touch my dog.
they asked me about the women at the college, which dude I was not an expert on.
Yeah.
They were like, what? Describe the girls here, and I'm like, oh, they're all from the Northeast. That's literally what I said, which is true. They're all from like fucking New Jersey or New York.
Code for frigid bitches.
Well, they asked me like, what does that mean to you? I'm like, I guess you could say they're catty, because that's like what people say about girls from the Northeast.
Yeah.
I guess I was
Did I
like,
say
what's
catty?
the catty? Yeah,
Okay.
a little feisty, a little like.
What do they say about girls from the rural outside of Philadelphia? What are they saying about me?
69.
Strong
They're always
bones.
69.
I'm not always 69. That was like truly the first and last time.
Really?
Don't
no.
lie.
But you did six-
Come on.
But you did
Hey,
69?
Listen, when you love what you do, you don't work at the
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, Art was 69, Dan Savage.
We were 69 in. But yeah, I was on it for literally 2 seconds. So we should
Wow.
say that. We should say
We've been on MTV.
You
yeah.
guys were on
That's our
MTV.
credits. I forgot about that. That's funny. That's
Okay.
stupid.
It seems like everybody can get on MTV.
Not me.
I'm not everybody. I'm somebody. Meredith, we'll get you on MTV.
I was on MTV.
Were you actually?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the
Pimp My Ride.
music video Thriller?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. It's a good
Yeah.
song.
I'm the person singing and dancing.
Whoa!
In that.
Oh, the pedophile?
Well, I like to think of myself as the creator of Thriller.
Wait, but you like touch kids.
Not in that video.
Oh, well, debatable. You touched some
No.
zombies.
And those zombies were of
Wait,
age.
were they zombies or werewolves? Can't really remember.
They were both. There were zombies. He was a
He
werewolf.
turned into a werewolf.
Oh.
And the others were
Spoiler for
zombies.
anyone who hasn't seen the music video for Thriller yet.
That canon's real fucked up. I don't quite get
I'm
it.
still reading the book.
And he's scary.
They should make
Literally
more
scary.
music videos into books.
They
Novelization.
should. I want to read blurred lines. I want to read about that ambiguous
man.
gray area.
Yeah. Read about Amrata's boobs.
I want to read.
Man, that is a catchy song. I will say Marvin Gaye's version was better. Anyway, we hit an hour, boys and girls.
Wow, that was fast.
That was fast.
That was a good one. That was a great time.
No,
great
we're gonna do
blunders.
another hour. Meredith, anything else? We're gonna Rogan it, and that means getting real crazy.
Okay, let's Rogan it.
So yeah, I fucked an alien. 69 alien. For them, it's more like 103 if you think about it.
What does that mean?
Well, they like open up their jaws and they have other appendages that come out. It's real weird.
Wow.
No, but yeah, anything else, Meredith, before we start wrapping up? Any other Blake blunders? I feel like you had such a great list. I want to go through like all of them.
Yeah,
I mean,
we don't have to
can just
dissect
read
them.
them and
Yeah,
have you
just
guys
rattle
wonder
them off.
what
Fire.
Just
they
rattle
are.
them off.
I'm not gonna say that one.
Come
Spilling
on.
that tea on Hannah's computer in the library. Absolutely was doing an
Oh.
impression of our physics teacher and like was rolling my head around and I had a giant thing of green tea and it destroyed her computer immediately, drowned
Nice.
it.
Wow.
Being a STEM girlie. Because I went to all girls school, if you were a little bit good at science, they were like, "You are going to be a doctor."
STEM.
Wow.
Playing Troy Bolton and feeling really at home in that role.
You played Troy Bolton?
That is not a blunder at all.
That's a brag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about that today.
We talked about that
pretty
today.
We
cool.
talk about like every yeah. That's
I'm
not a
trying to
blunder at
s-
all. What are you fucking talking about?
Trying to see.
Get new friends. They don't know you.
They don't know, or they think too
They're being
highly.
too
of-
nice.
No, these are
Yeah,
good. These
they're
are
being too
good.
nice.
I'm like I think you were like I liked how you texted me earlier where you said that high school mishap where you didn't get into Harvard. And I was like, mishap? I didn't make a mistake. I just didn't get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mishap.
Wait, the
You-
mishap was the mental breakdown I had after I was waiting.
No, you shouldn't try
There
hard
it
enough.
is. There it is. Yeah.
And then the big regrets, I guess
we
I'll
go.
say, is I used to be very type A,
Yeah.
neurotic, paranoid person who was less fun to be around. And I think if that person was doing stand up now, every time I had a slight bomb, I'd be making it everyone's problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would spiral. What were you going to say?
I have a question. Can you give an example of how you were back then and people hanging out with you?
I think I was just, in a very teen angsty way. I just prided myself on being like cold, walls up kind of person.
Interesting.
So I was not very touchy, and now I'm like always hanging on.
Now you're
people's
getting
shoulders.
railed in the closet.
Now I'm getting real in the closet. I think that
Were you the type of person who would be like very kind of passive aggressive about like test scores and stuff, and like being like
Passive aggressive.
Passive-
Oh,
I
not
think
passive aggressive, but you know what I'm saying though,
I
right?
could be the worst. I think I was someone who's like, not always, but I definitely could have been. Oh, I think like a very asshole thing I tried to do in high school for a little bit was like act like I wasn't trying as hard and was
Yep.
like a lazy genius.
Yes.
But I was actually
Oh.
trying very hard.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
And I
yep,
had
yep,
friends
yep.
call me out on that.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I was, but also like I wasn't like insufferable. I had very good friends in high
Okay.
school that I'm still lifelong friends with. It's like nothing
Shout
I was
out
doing.
Molly,
was, like,
friend of the pod.
Shout out Molly, friend of the pod. She don't listen.
What the fuck, Molly?
She would.
I'll
She
send it to her.
would. She should be a guest. Yeah, I think I was. Yeah, definitely the type being like, oh, I'm gonna fail this,
Yeah.
and making everyone's problem when I.
Would you casually bring up like test scores, like, oh, you know, I got 95? And, like,
I don't
good,
think
whatever.
that.
Okay, that was big in my
It
high
was more
school.
the anxiety going into it.
Got it.
Which I still am like, and I think that comes from a place of insecurity.
Absolutely.
I genuinely am like, this is the time I'm going to fail,
Yeah.
and it never was.
Yeah.
And that's such an asshole move.
But I think it can be real though. Like the fear of failure is
Yes.
definitely real.
It's because
And it drives you.
It's because I genuinely wasn't cocky.
Yeah.
But then you combine someone who's like insecure and thinks they're gonna fail with someone who is valedictorian, and then that's very fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Um,
Which you were.
I because of my mental breakdown, I lost points at the end, and I was salutatorian.
How
what a
fucking
fucking
pissed were-
loser. What a blunder.
That's the real
Yeah, the
blunder.
real
Valedictorian
mishap
in
was
college,
thinking you
though.
could get into Harvard in
actually?
the first place.
Yeah.
You guys had valedictorians in college?
I know, weird.
Loser.
I mean, I was
Wow.
English, so like, how hard was
Okay.
that?
Right.
Honestly,
I
if
should
you
have
went
went
to my
there.
school and you weren't, you should be embarrassed.
Would have cleaned
Wow.
up in grades.
I'm glad we did this. I feel like I learned a lot more about you.
And I feel
At
like
the
I
very
talked
end.
over you the whole time. No.
That's why you're here.
No, I'm really glad I did it. That's the bigger stuff, but I'm very happy where I am now. I'm happy that we're all starting to have things to say in stand-up and are not just moving air around as
Well.
19-year-olds.
Wow.
Well,
Wow, you really wrapped that up nicely.
yeah.
Yeah.
you
You
wanna
should
just
start a
take over this-
podcast.
Do you guys want to do this pod together? I can just head out.
Yeah.
You guys should just take over.
I would love that.
Oh.
You set us up, and now we realize we have more in common together without you
Yeah,
here.
without me.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
kidding. Art, you're the glue. I couldn't do this without you.
Nah.
Mostly, I don't know what any of these chords do.
True.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good way to end up. Yeah. Any other thoughts, Vic?
No, I think an hour is the limit
cutoff.
to my social battery.
I do have one more thing.
Yeah.
Where can we find you, Meredith Dietz?
Ooh, Meredith Dietz.
Oh, what's the deets?
The deets on deets is they should make a porn video.
Who's they?
Who's they?
Put
the
in.
people who make
Biden.
porn.
Yeah.
Oh.
They come and film it. Yes.
Hunter Biden.
It's at deets.m on Instagram, so DIETZ
Yeah.
.m, and then at deets_Meredith on TikTok and I guess Twitter, but Twitter's kind of gone,
It's
ain't
kind of
it?
dead. You
X.
can't get dot at Twitter and TikTok?
No,
You
I
can't
wish it
get
was all
underscore.
deets.m.
You can't do underscore on.
But
Instagram?
maybe I'll change Instagram.
Yeah.
But-
I'm just. That doesn't matter.
It does. It really doesn't. It's
Yeah.
not that big a difference. Also,
Right.
if you find one, I have a
You'll
link to
find
the
another.
others.
Right.
And then you can find my LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and I have a website.
LinkedIn.
And I've been posting some crazy stuff on Reddit.
Whoa.
They keep saying I'm the asshole.
Yeah. Username Victor Van Tran.
Victor Van Tran.
That's where I lurk.
My wife's a bitch, and I keep feeding her glass. Am I the asshole?
Bloody glass from my arm.
She's bleeding out the pee hole. I don't know why.
I'm signing off.
All right.
I love you.
I love you guys.
Yeah, it's been good.
It's been amazing.